Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take the sources you're curious about, dig in, and pull out the key stuff so you can get informed without getting totally overwhelmed.
Exactly. And today we are diving into, well, a preview of some really intriguing new science fiction books that are coming out in May 2025.
Right.
Our main source here is that Reactor article, which is full of the publisher summaries, giving us a really good sneak peek.
Yeah, it's a great starting point. So this is for you, the learner. If you want insights that actually stick, you like seeing different angles, and you appreciate getting the gist without drowning in details, this is definitely for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a pretty wide range of themes and ideas today. Space opera, near-future stuff should be something for almost everyone interested in sci-fi.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the Reactor article starts with the May 6th releases. First one is 1,000 Natural Shocks by Omar Hussain.
Right. This one jumped out at me. It's set in Monterey, California. You've got a reporter who's looking into a serial killer, someone who's apparently back after years of silence.
Okay, standard enough start.
But here's the twist. The reporter is also mixed up with this, cult that offers memory erasure.
Oh, wow. Okay, that changes things. So he's trying to solve this historical case while actively losing his own history, his own memories.
Exactly. Imagine trying to connect the dots when your own dots are, disappearing. The summary hints he finds some dark secret about the cult, too, which just ups the ante.
Yeah, that's a heck of a setup.
Yeah.
What kind of tightrope is he walking there? Is he maybe erasing clues he actually needs?
That's a really good question. And it makes you think about identity, right? If your memories make you you, what happens when you start chipping away at them deliberately?
Does it change how he sees the case? Or even himself?
Definitely sounds like a psychological thriller element in there.
Also on the 6th, we've got some Star Wars. Star Wars, The Acolyte, Wayseeker by Justina Ireland.
Ah, yes. High Republic era. This one features Jedi Master Vernestra Voix. She's called a Wayseeker and operates out in the Outer Rim.
Wayseeker? That sounds like maybe a Jedi who plays things a bit more by ear, less tied to the temple, perhaps?
That's the impression I get, maybe more focused on the immediate will of the Force rather than strict council orders. And that creates some tension because a Republic senator asks for her help directly.
Okay.
So the council sends another Jedi, Knight Endara basically, to rein Vernestra in a bit.
The classic setup. Individual initiative versus the organization. You see that everywhere, don't you?
Absolutely. And Endara sounds like a contrast. Younger, maybe a bit more by the book from a more peaceful time. Vernestra's seen some stuff already.
Right, so there are different ideas about being a Jedi, serving the Force. That's going to clash while they're stuck together on this mission.
Definitely. And the mission itself involves some kind of dangerous weapon threatening the Republic.
Which brings up that whole blurring line, doesn't it? Between the Jedi's role and the Republic's politics. Where do they stand?
It's a core Star Wars question, isn't it? How involved should they be? This book seems set to explore that directly.
Okay, moving on. Let's jump to May 13th. Quite a few releases listed here. First, Circular Motion by Alex Foster.
Now, this one has a big dramatic premise. The Earth's rotation. It's speeding up.
Whoa, okay. How does that play out?
Well, it starts small, shoulder days, but apparently it escalates. Think massive storms, environmental chaos, political instability. The works.
That feels unnervingly relevant somehow. Even though it's exaggerated, it taps into those climate anxieties.
It really does. And the story follows two main characters. There's Tanner, who escapes his hometown in Alaska and gets a job at this company, CWC. They run orbital aircraft, the kind that let you, fly across the world for dinner.
Sounds convenient if the world wasn't spinning faster.
Exactly. And then there's Winnie, a teen activist who blames CWC, Tanner's employer, for the acceleration.
So their paths are going to cross, right? Conflict brewing.
Seems inevitable. It looks like it'll explore blame, responsibility, unintended consequences of tech. Plus, there's this mysterious TV scientist mentioned, Victor Bickle. He has a shameful secret.
Ooh, intriguing. So maybe the spin isn't entirely natural. Could there be a human cause behind it all?
That's what it suggests, adding another layer.
Okay, next on the 13th, Awake in the Floating City by Susanna Kwan. This sounds quite different, more intimate.
Yeah, definitely a different vibe. It's set in a city that's slowly being submerged by rising waters. Most people have left.
Wow. Grim setting.
Our main character is Beau, an artist. She's still there, grieving her mother who died in a storm surge. She's kind of stuck.
What keeps someone in a place that's literally vanishing?
Well, maybe connection, history. She ends up taking a job as a caregiver for an elderly woman, Mia, who's also stayed behind.
Ah, so that gives her a reason, a connection.
Exactly. And apparently, despite Mia being a bit prickly at first, they form this bond. Mia shares stories, her life experiences, and it sort of rekindles Beau's own art.
That's quite lovely, actually. Preserving history through stories and art as the physical world disappears.
Right. Beau starts this project to commemorate their world and Mia's life, especially as Mia's health starts to fail. It sounds like it's really about memory, connection, and what we hold on to when things are lost.
Makes you think about how we
Yeah.
choose to remember, yeah. Okay, also on the 13th, The Quiet by Barnaby Martin. Sounds ominous.
It does. This one posits a world changed by something called the sound field.
The sound field? What's that?
It seems to cause deadly heat during the day, and there's this constant background hum. So humanity's basically become nocturnal. Scarce resources, danger.
Another tough world. Who are we following?
Hannah and her son Isaac. Isaac is described as gifted but also vulnerable, and here's a key detail. Hannah used to be a scientist who actually studied the sound field.
Oh, interesting. So she probably understands the dangers better than most.
You'd think so. But now her focus is just on protecting Isaac, which involves apparently telling lies and having to trust strangers, which sounds risky in that kind of world.
Definitely precarious. The summary says both her lies and the truth are dangerous.
Which makes you immediately ask, what's the truth? What's Isaac's gift? Is it connected to the sound field? Is she hiding him or hiding something about him?
Creates instant suspense. That protective mother instinct against potentially huge stakes. It's a classic sci-fi setup for a reason.
Taps into some deep fears, for sure.
Okay, one more for the 13th, another Star Wars High Republic, Tempest Breaker by Cavan Scott.
This one focuses on Lorna D. Remember her. Former Tempest runner for the Nihil.
Right, not exactly a clear-cut hero. She's wanted by, like, everyone, isn't she? Nihil and the Republic.
Pretty much. She operates in that gray area, mostly looking out for herself. But now there's this mysterious blight spreading.
A blight, okay? Affecting planets, people.
Seems serious, and it forces an unlikely situation. The Republic basically offers Lorna a deal. Help the Jedi find the Nihil scientist Baron Woolen, and she gets a clean slate.
But Jedi need her help. Which Jedi?
Avar Kriss and Keith Trennis, apparently. They think Woolen might know how to stop the blight, and maybe shed light on March and Arro's big plans.
Wow, so Lorna has to team up with the people who are hunting her. Talk about tension.
Exactly. Can they trust her? Can she trust them? What does she really want? More freedom or just survival? And will she have to confront March and Arro eventually?
Sounds like a lot of potential for betrayal and tough choices. Exploring redemption, maybe?
Yeah.
Or just pragmatism in crisis.
Yeah, it seems like one of those enemy of my enemy situations where past conflicts have to be put aside, at least temporarily.
Okay, finally, moving to May 20th, there's Esperance by Adam Oyebanji. This starts with a really weird mystery.
Get this. A detective in Chicago, Ethan Kroll, is investigating deaths where the victims have lungs full of seawater.
Seawater in
Oh.
Chicago, but they're nowhere near the ocean.
Exactly. Bizarre, right?
Yeah.
Instantly makes you think, what is going on here? It's unnatural.
Definitely uncanny. Where does it go from there?
Well, parallel to that, we meet Abidemi Iniola over in Bristol in the UK. She says she's Nigerian, but her accent's apparently off. And she has some kind of, like, advanced tech and these mysterious heirlooms.
Okay, random. We're connected.
Well, she makes friends with someone, Holly Rogers, who tries to help her return these heirlooms. But the key thing is, Abby becomes a person of interest for Detective Kroll back in Chicago.
Ah, there's the link. A transatlantic mystery connecting these strange deaths and this woman with weird tech.
Seems like it. It raises questions about identity, hidden technology, maybe different ideas about justice across cultures. And the summary mentions deadly consequences, so the stakes seem pretty high.
A clash of worlds, potentially? Sounds
Yeah.
intriguing.
Yeah, a proper sci-fi mystery.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive into the May 2025 sci-fi list.
Wow, it's quite a mix, isn't it?
It really is. We've seen everything from memory loss and identity.
Right, to Star Wars political intrigue.
Huge environmental catastrophes, both planetary and local.
Very personal stories about loss and connection.
Survival against strange new realities. And these cross-continental mysteries with weird science, all wrapped up in these speculative settings.
It's a great snapshot, this preview. A quick way to get a feel for the kind of science fiction hitting the shelves next May. It shows how the genre keeps, reflecting our own world back at us.
Our hopes, our anxieties.
Exactly. All those big what-if questions.
Which leads us nicely to our final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about all these themes we just touched on, memory, environment, power, survival, mystery, justice. What do these upcoming books suggest about what's on our collective mind right now? What hopes and fears are bubbling up in the science fiction of 2025?
It's definitely something to ponder as you maybe check out some of these titles. Lots to explore.